guys struggling to catch crappie consistently? Are you tired of staring at that screen and feel like you're not getting nowhere because you're just looking at a screen and playing a video game? I'm gonna show you how to get back to simple fishing that works. And this is my proven method that I've been doing. I've been doing this for 30 plus years. I learned this from my daddy, over 30 years ago. It's long line trolling. It's simple, easy, and effective. So it's kind of cloudy today, raining in and out. I don't really have long. I just thought I'd come out here and I need to set my boat back up for long lining because the fall's here and I've been catfishing and I'm ready to get back into crappie fishing, and we'll do this throughout the fall, all the way up, through December. We'll do this and then kind of quit, and we'll pick back up doing this same method late February, early March, and we'll do it all the way through June till we start pulling crankbaits. So I kind of like 80 degrees and below water temperature. I like the long line. At 80 degrees and above, I like to pull cranks. So I just thought I'd kind of go around on what I do. I use Jenko posts. All my posts are Jenko. It's a great company. They're local here on Kentucky Lake. They help me out a little bit, and they're great people. So I use a 16-foot slab city on my very outside right here. And then I come through behind that, I got another slab city, but this is 12 foot. That goes right here. And then I have these Jenko Cypress Creeks. These are 8 foots. These are dirt cheap. They're like $20 a pole, maybe less than that. I'm not really sure. It goes here. So what I got right there is I've got 4 foot separation between each pole. And I come back and I have another 8 foot Jenko Cypress Creek. And I put it goes directly out the back of the boat. Just like that right there. Everything is level, my rods are level, but except this one, if you'll notice, I got it angled up just a little bit. That way if it hangs, I've got some resistance. If I had it going straight out, if it hung, it's liable just to rip the rod straight out of the boat. So that's kind of at an angle. And then the other side, it's the exact same thing. We have another 16 foot Jenko slab city to a 12 foot Jenko slab city to an 8 foot Jenko Cypress Creek and an 8 foot Jenko Cypress Creek again. And again, this right here is straight out the back and it's angled. So it's 4 foot separation between all these rods. And I am covering some serious water. Like I got 16 foot out that way, 16 foot out this way. And then my boat's 8 foot wide. So you do the math. I'm covering a huge width of water right there. And that's it. I just take these dudes out and I throw them. I got 1/8 ounce Roadrunner heads on today that I'm gonna start with. Like I said, this is my first crappie fishing trip since June. Basically, I've been chasing catfish. Got catfish slime all on my boat. I just throw them out like that right there, out wide. Same with this one. I've got an array of different baits and stuff on here. I'll show you guys what I'm running here when I get them out. But they all are, I'm starting out with 1/8 ounce heads. And I got my trolling motor already locked in the direction we're heading. I got it running about 1.1. We're in 13 foot of water right now, so that's about right. With these 1/8 ounce heads, I ought to be kind of where I'm seeing what fish I am seeing. We ought to be in the strike zone there. So just throw them dudes out right there, just like that. And that's all I do, all the way across. A lot of people pull doubles, and I do sometimes, but I honestly find this, with me, it's more trouble than it's worth. I just don't find that I catch more fish with it. I mean, maybe a few, but not really. I spend more time tangled up when I've got doubles. So I just kind of stick to singles. It works for me, and it makes it easier. It's easier to tie. It's really quick. So I stick to singles. But, I mean, every now and then you will see me with a double, but I generally don't like to. Sometimes I'll get a wild hair and think if I put one of them on, I'll catch more fish or something, but usually I get ill at it by the end of the day because I've done tangled on so much and I've got it cut off. So that's it. We've got them there. My boat is set up. We're fishing. I've got Driftmaster rod holders is what I've got. Jenko Pose. And I just got a standard little hummingbird here. $9.98. Gosh, that thing is, I don't know how old it is. But I just keep it on 2D because I really just need to kind of see my depth. And if I see any kind of structure or anything right there, I've got my other unit up here, my Garmin unit at my console. It's got my mapping, down image and side image. If I see anything there that kind of strikes my curiosity, I will come up here and look at it. And if it's a stake bed or brush pile or something, I'll mark it on that. So I don't really mark nothing on this. It's just more of a guide to, you know, to keep up with my depth. But when you're doing this, I think the main thing is mapping. Like I like to follow these contour lines and stuff, and I think you need a good trolling motor too. I run a Minn Kota Taroba. I've ran a Minn Kota Taroba now for 15 years probably. The last one I had just went out on me last year, so it lasted 13, 14 years, however long it was. It was one of the original ones. And I went with another Taroba. I just bought the base model. I don't even have a foot pad. Now it does have the advanced GPS, and the technology on this thing has came a long way from where it was, you know, on my old one. But I just kind of set the course wherever I want to go and set my cruise control, and I let the trolling motor do the work. You know, we got a pretty hard north wind today. If it was any harder, I'd actually, instead of setting the course, this new one's got a drift mode on it that works really, really well. It's just like throwing a drift sock out. Like if the wind's blowing 15 mile an hour, white capping, and your boat's going faster than it should, you can hit that drift mode, and that trolling motor head is liable to turn around and act like it's trying to push you back the other way, but it's compensating for the wind to keep you at your target speed that you want. So technology on these trolling motors has come a long way. But that's just basically it. I run an array of different baits. Basically, I've got all kinds of tackle boxes full of these, but this little tackle bag here, it ain't even a tackle bag, it's like a little tool pouch I got at Walmart for like $2. I keep my main skirts that I use the most right here, so it's quick for me to get to pull them out and stuff. And here's this is probably my favorite bait. It's a Jenko Big T Curly Fry. For long lining, it's got a lot of action on that trail. Oh, we got a fish right here. So, I don't believe he's gonna keep, but there we go. Little male. Let me get him back out here. Just kind of keep it in line. I should have noted when I was reeling that fish up, I was late getting to it because I was looking at the camera. But I like to get my fish on top of the water so I can steer them. You know, you get them up on top of the water, and you get these catfish, and you'll hook a bass or sauger every now and then, and you really can't do them. They'll stay down. But that crappie's going to come up the top of the water, and you can steer him to keep him out of your other lines. Got another fish right here. See, I'm going to get him up to the top of my water here as quick as I can. Of course, he's another little fish. But you get the gist of it. That's just kind of how I do it. So we need to get into some better fish than that, but we're just getting started. I really don't know what to expect with this north wind, this cold front. And this, like I said, it's my first trip. But I don't know where I was when I caught that fish. I think I was showing, yeah, these Big T Curly Fries. That's probably one of my favorite baits to do. I got all kinds of different colors. You're always gonna see me with a black and chartreuse in this, especially on a day like this, and a solid chartreuse. And I usually got a pink head. That's just a confidence thing. And I like to run a lot of monkey milk. I run some Bobby Garland strollers in monkey milk, and Southern Pro shad fry, I believe is what it is in monkey milk. Them are really good, especially out here on Kentucky Lake, kind of year round. But you're always kind of gonna see me with them colors on. I'll do another video one day of kind of my top 5, 6 colors that I use out here on Kentucky Lake that's worked for me over the years. But that, like I said, I got 16-foot poles. I don't think or all Jenko poles, 16 down to 8 foot. My reels are Shimano 2500 series reels. All of them but one. That one's not. That's a little cheaper reel. I actually had one get stepped on this year and I haven't replaced it, but I've had them reels for several years. I'm a big proponent of buy good stuff once and it's gonna last you, because them reels are, I know, 10 plus years old. I just kind of keep them clean, oiled every year, put new line on them. Oh, got a fish here. Another little fish. So that fish, that's the second fish. I caught that other fish while I go on this. This is actually a Bobby Garland stroller. I believe that color is called Vegas. I'm not 100% sure. It's just kind of pink with some glitter in it. I believe it's called Vegas. It's pretty good color, especially a day like today. So we're catching some fish, but we just ain't catching no big fish. And then, like I told you guys, I'm running Roadrunner heads. I'm trying to show just variants of different jig heads in there. I got 1/8 ounce, 16th ounce, 32nd ounce, 24th ounce, and about everything you can think of. I've got an array of them in there, and you're liable to see me, you know, I try to keep them consistent. I might start out with 2 different ones to try to find the fish, but I like to try to zero in and keep them consistent on all my rods. It just makes it easier to keep up with. But that's pretty much it. Well, and then my line here, I run 6-pound line. It's very important to run the same size line all the way across, so you can, if not, your baits could be running different depth. The heavier the line, the higher it's gonna run in the water column. But I like Mr. Crappie, and this year is the first year I've ever been using it, but it's just that 6-pound line from Academy, H2OX, I guess it is. It is almost identical to this Mr. Crappie. They're both cheap. They're like $4 a spool, but I can get this in orange. Mr. Crappie and high vis yellow. And what I do is I've got yellow, orange, orange, yellow. So what happens is, when you're doing this, you're going to tangle. It's just part of it. You're going to tangle. You know, you'll get pretty good at it where you don't tangle as much, but you're going to have tangles. It just happens. These 2 different color lines makes it easy to untangle. Basically, that's the only reason why I run 2 different color lines. And I have been impressed with this line right here. It's from Academy. It's been really, really good. That and this Mr. Crappie. This Mr. Crappie 6-pound high vis I've been using for years, since he invented it, I guess. And they probably, who knows, they might come off the same spool before they're dyed. I don't know how it works. I'm sure the same line companies makes a lot of these lines. I'm really not sure. But that's pretty much it. I got that going. Then I take my chair here and I sit right here. I got my coffee and I'm fishing. I'm sitting right here and I'm at an arm's length to get to them. I can get to them pretty quick. And the way I got my poles, I could see them. They're level. It's very important that your rod tips are level all the way across. It makes it easy to identify the bite or the hang or whatever. But that's all I do, and it works. I mean, it works great. So, like I said, we started this, man, over 30 years ago, we'll go down memory lane, I'll tell you a story. So me, my dad, and my brother-in-law at the time I was a kid, we was up here fishing. And we was spider rigging is what we used to do. We used to spider rig with minnows. And we caught fish. We caught lots of fish. And we was actually on the Big Sandy out at the power line tires. And this old man at the time, he had a boat like this, one of these deep V boats, and he had a kicker motor on it. And he come by us, and my daddy seen him come, and he said, "Oh, there's a sauger fisherman." And he was coming by us. Well, before he got by us, he caught 2 or 3 fish, good fish. And he went on down, and next thing you know, here he comes back by us, 30, 45 minutes later. And we see him catch a couple more fish. And my brother-in-law at the time, he's like, there's something to that. I don't know what's going on there, but he's not sauger fishing. He's targeting these crappie. And Dad's like, well, maybe so. Like I said, I'm a kid at the time, but I still remember this. So fast forward the next week, I'm on spring break from school, and my dad, he was a cop, chief of police, and he'd always take vacation when I was on spring break, and we'd come up here to the lake and we'd spend the week fish. We're out there doing the same thing, and we're catching a couple fish. We're not burning them up, but that same boat comes by, and it's just like clockwork, just like the week before. He's catching fish in front of us. The very next day, same thing happens again. Here he comes. He's catching fish. And Daddy said right then, he said, "I don't know what he's doing, but we're supposed to figure it out." So we started right then. I would give anything that had YouTube back then. That would have been made our learning curve a lot easier, I'm sure. But we started back then doing this. And let me get my boat, that wind. I might have to put this in drift mode. The more I think about this, I'm trying to angle it. But we started back then doing this. We started out in his bass tractor at the time. He had a 17-foot bass tractor. And we caught a couple. We were struggling with it, really. We was, of course, the trolling motors wasn't out yet and all that. And then we got the idea that we'd side pull. We'd seen somebody side pulling, so we got rid of the bass tractor and we bought a 17-foot John boat with an open floor, and we mounted a trolling motor right on the side, and we'd side pull, and that worked pretty good. But we fought it. You had to stay on it. You side pullers, hey, I don't envy you, because you guys work at it pretty hard, but it's deadly. You actually get out more poles and more width than I get. So we decided, we ended up getting a Stratus bass boat, and we set that up, and that worked pretty good. But then my daddy, he was getting a little bit older, and he wasn't able to get in and out of it, or he was able to get in and out of it, but he didn't like sitting up on the deck. He was starting to lose his stability a little bit. So we got rid of that, and we got a pontoon, and that worked great for a few years. But a pontoon catches a lot of wind. I mean, it's going to catch the wind. And so we fished out of that, and we did pretty good out of that. And I said, "Dad, we really need to get low to the water." So I went and I found me a War Eagle boat down in Mississippi on Craigslist, if you guys remember Craigslist. So we drove down to Tupelo, Mississippi. Oh, got a fish. I'll pick back up here. This is a keeper here. I need to keep a few fish. I had a buddy of mine, my trim went out on my boat motor, and he fixed me up, put me a new trim motor on, so he wouldn't let me pay nothing. He said bring him a mess of fish, so I'm out here on a meat run for him. Get that back out there. So yeah, anyway, so we're out there. What have I done here? Wrapped around something. I don't even know how that happens. You guys ever wonder how something happens and you don't think you could do it again if you tried? I have them things happen all the time. like that. So anyway, as I was saying before that fish interrupted us, which we'll take, I went down to Tupelo, Mississippi, and I bought an 1860 War Eagle. And what we did, we brought it home and we gutted it instantly. We took that back bench out. We took that old useless gun box that nobody uses to put guns in down the side of the boat. We took all that out, opened up the floor. We took the console and scooted it forward about 3 foot and opened this all up so my daddy could sit down in the boat. He was sit down in the boat. We actually put, we took that bench seat out and we put Millennium swivel seats or whatever, just regular boat seats in to drive. Class A pedestals, I think is what you call them. And my daddy would drive the boat. Like I would back him in, he would drive, and he'd never leave that seat. He'd turn around to fish, and he'd turn around to drive wherever we was going. But he wouldn't leave that seat until we put the boat on the trailer. And we used that boat for 10 plus years. It was a great boat. I'd like to know the amount of fish that boat caught. But we caught them. We perfected this method that we do with that boat. My dad ended up passing for in 2021 with COVID, and it was kind of bothering me fishing out of it. I could see him. I would fish out the front of it, and he'd fish out the back. I would take these 16s, 12s, and 8s, and I would run 6 out the front, off the sides, and he would run 5 8s straight out the back. But I'd set up after he passed. I'd sit up there, and I could just see him sitting back here, and it bothered me. And I told my wife at the time, I told my girlfriend at the time, which is my wife now, I was like, I got to do something. I said, I want me a different boat. I want a bigger boat. I want a boat so when the wind is blowing 20, I could catch them in the wind. I'd catch them in the wind in that War Eagle. But a lot of times I couldn't get to them to catch them because the wind was blowing so rough. I said, I want a boat no more than I get to fish, working full time. When I get a day off to go fish, I want to be able to go fish. I don't want to have to worry about can I get there or not because of the wind or whatever. So I got to looking, and I found this boat here. This is a Tracker, 18-foot Tracker Tundra. I think it's a 2005 model, and it was up in it was in right at Wisconsin's where it was. It was about an 8 or 9 hour drive for me. So I called the guy and I told him, I said, look, this is where I'm coming from. I said, if the boat is what you say it is and how the pictures look, you know, I'm going to buy it, but can you hold it for me? If I give you a deposit or something, I said, because I don't want to drive. He said, man, no, you ain't got to give me no deposit. He said, I'm an honest guy. So I got off work one Friday afternoon at 3 o'clock, and I drove up there. I got me a hotel room, and I stayed and I was at his house at daylight the next morning, and I fell in love with it. So I bought it. He was a cat fisherman and a tournament cat fisherman, and that's how it's open back here. He had like a toolbox that he made a live well out of right here, and I took that out. I didn't really want that because I wanted it open. But that's basically it, and that's how I ended up with this boat, and I love this boat. Sometimes I wish it was a 20-footer, but most of the time it's me by myself, and it's 18-footer. The way it's set up, this open floor back here, it works great. It works great for me long lining. I sit back here, I catfish, I suspend drift. If you guys have watched any of them videos, if not, go check them out. And I've got a regular deck up there, just like any other boat, that I chase my bluegill and red ear, or a lot of times I'll cast for crappie or something up there. And so this boat is a great multi-species boat, and I love it. So that's kind of how we ended up with this boat right here. But that's just a gist of my long lining, how we got started long lining. Like I said, it's been a lot of trial and error, a lot of watching other people from a distance. Several people that I've known over the years that's pretty good at it, picking their brain, and just kind of you know, paying attention to details, you know, and learning and learning and learning, and it's kind of, it's nothing hard about it really. It's pretty easy. I could have a live scope. I could go buy one tomorrow. I don't want one. I thought about it. I've been tempted a few times to do it. I'm like, I don't want to change the way I fish. This right here works. I eat fish when I want to eat fish. I keep fish in my freezer. I give a lot away to friends and family. We do big fish fries. And I'm doing it all without no screen on front of my boat. I sit back here and do this right here. It's relaxing, it's fun. I got my coffee, drink me a couple Diet Mountain Dews. It just works. It's simple, it works, it's fun. You can take an 85-year-old man, as long as you can get him in the boat, all the way down to a 5-year-old kid, and you can teach them this method and they can have fun and catch a boatload of fish. So I mean, that's the gist of it. It's real easy. You know, I'll run 0.8 to 1.2 usually when I'm long lining somewhere around in there. My sweet spot is 1.1. I always usually start off at 1.1. That's just me, and I'll tweak it from there. You know, I might get in some shallower water and I need to go up in speed a little bit. I will do that. You'll go over a hump or something and I don't want to change out the baits or something. I'll kick my trolling motor up then. But that's pretty much it. And you know, it's just run different. I'll start off with different colors. I don't think I've got the same color on none of these. I think 2 of these might have monkey milk on, and they ain't caught a fish yet. So I might be taking them off. But I'll start out with an array of colors, and then I'll fine tune it from there. You know, on what they seem to like, that's what I'll put on. But I just thought I'd kind of give y'all a little rundown of my setup, on how I use these. Like I said, I use Jenko rods. You know, if you guys are interested in them, you can get on jenko.com, put in promo code LEE15 and save you a little money at checkout. They're local, good people right here on the lake, and that's kind of why I like to use the Jenko, because I like to keep my money local. If I can support a local small business, that's what I want to do, and they help a lot of people out. You know, they help a whole lot of people out in the fishing industry. So, you know, that's kind of where I like to spend my money, with good people, good local businesses like that. So anyway, that's just the rundown of what I'm doing here. I'm going to sit down here and do a little fishing and quit talking. So that's pretty much my deal right there. Oh, there he is. Come here, fish. Pretty good fish here, guys. I wanted to add, I don't know if I said it earlier or not, but one other good thing about this, the way I fish this way, is you eliminate dead water. You're constantly moving. You're constantly on the move. I was back up there. I really wasn't catching nothing. Bunch of little ones and caught a catfish, but I went a little stretch there where I wasn't catching no fish, and just you're constantly moving. So I just got to get out of here. You know, I got to find some fish. So I've come back to the back here. I think it might still be a little early to be back here. I'm not seeing the amount of bait that I'd like to see. So I might head out to the main lake channel here shortly. I don't know, but I just ate a few more fish to have Stacy a good mess of fish. But yeah, so keep moving. You know, if you ain't catching them, that's the good thing about this. Like, you don't even have to reel up. You just speed up and change areas of the lake pretty quick. So that's another thing that makes this method so deadly, because you eliminate water, dead water, you know, quickly. So there you go. Guys, I found some bait. Some bait started showing up on the depth finder and I started catching a few more fish. That's key, especially in the fall. You want to be where the bait's at. You got to be where the bait's at to catch fish. I'm gonna measure this fish. I'm pretty sure he'll go, but I just want to make sure. Oh, yeah, that fish is 10 1/4. All right, guys, I'm gonna end it. I gotta get out of here. There's some more rain. It's quit raining now, but there's another storm coming in about, I don't know, about 30 minutes or so. I just wanted to come out here and show you guys kind of how I do things as far as long lining. You know, I caught several fish, a lot of small fish. I don't know, I got 9, 10 crappie and a catfish. I got enough, a mess for my buddy for working on my boat. That's, you know, that's why I come out here and do this little quick video, catch him a good mess of fish, and I've got that. So y'all give this method a try. You know, if some of y'all that watch me probably already do long line, do y'all have a technique that I'm not doing or anything that, you know, drop a comment below. Let me know what you do different than I do. Maybe I can you know, implement what you do, make my fishing better, or if you guys got any kind of questions on how I do this that I didn't cover. It's a lot to cover, kind of, but you know, drop a comment below and let me know. I'll try to answer the best I can. If I don't know it, I just don't know it. But and like I said, it's just a lot of trial and error, getting out here, and you know, they call, you know, deer scouting boots on the ground. I call this you know, just fishing. You know, just get out here, you just gotta go. You gotta go when the weather's not good. You gotta go. That's when you gotta go. You gotta go at all times and learn how to catch them at different times. And them days like today, like we just didn't burn them up today, but we learned a few things. You know, I went back in there too far early this morning, and I just think it's too early for me to be back there, you know. So moved back out. I think next trip I'll probably start out here on the main lake still. But anyway, thank y'all for watching, and y'all be sure to tune in next week for the next video.